Good evening and welcome to the NewsHour Agenda. I'm Madhavdas Gopalakrishnan. Now, through the course of the 2024 elections, if there's one narrative that has found resonance repeatedly, it's that of Muslim quota. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has constantly accused the India bloc of snatching the rights of OBCs and giving it away to Muslims to appease a vote bank. Today, an order by the Calcutta High Court has escalated the debate around the alleged attempt to give Muslims quota by adding them to OBC category. The Calcutta High Court has cancelled all OBC certificates issued in West Bengal after 2010, around 5 lakh of them. This effectively means that all OBC certificates issued under the Mamata government stand junk. The High Court said that the verdict won't affect those who got jobs under the OBC category. Times Now has accessed the detailed order of the court, and let's break it down, at least as far as the operative portion of the order is concerned. It says that religion indeed appears to have been the sole criterion for declaring these communities as OBCs. The order also said Muslim community has been treated as a commodity for political ends. Classification of the 77 classes as OBCs and their inclusion to be treated as a vote bank. But Mamata Banerjee has dubbed the Calcutta High Court order as a BJP order and says that she won't accept it. Listen in.
কিন্তু বদমাইশ লোকেরা কাজ করায় এজেন্সিকে দিয়ে কাউকে দিয়ে একটা অর্ডার করিয়েছে যদিও তার রায় আমি মানি না তেমনি বলছি আজকে যে রায় দিয়েছে যেই দিয়ে থাকুন নাম বলবো না জাজমেন্ট নিয়ে বলা যায় বিজেপির রায় এটা আমরা মানবো না ওবিসি রিজার্ভেশন চলছে চলবে.
And while Mamata Banerjee is calling it a BJP order and is targeting the judiciary, Prime Minister Modi has sharpened his attack on the Bengal government. He said that Mamata Sarkar issued OBC certificates on religious grounds to appease a particular community. Union Home Minister Shah also echoed the same. Listen in.
कोर्ट ने 2010 के बाद से जारी सारे ओबीसी सर्टिफिकेट कैंसिल कर दिया है. क्यों? क्योंकि पश्चिम बंगाल की सरकार ने मुसलमानों का वोट बैंक के लिए अनाप शनाप मुसलमानों को ओबीसी बनाने के सर्टिफिकेट दे दिए थे. ये खान मार्केट गैंग ये पापी की भागीदार है. यही लोग कहते हैं कि देश के संसाधनों पर पहला हक मुसलमानों का है.
ममता बनर्जी पिछड़े वर्ग के रिजर्वेशन के ऊपर अपने वोट बैंक के लिए डाका डालकर वो रिजर्वेशन मुस्लिम जातियों को देना चाहती. मैं हाईकोर्ट के फैसले का स्वागत करता हूं. ममता जी ने कहा हम हाईकोर्ट के फैसले को नहीं मानते. मैं बंगाल की जनता को पूछना चाहता हूं, कोई ऐसी मुख्यमंत्री हो सकती है, संवैधानिक पद पर बैठी हुई कोई व्यक्ति ऐसी हो सकती है जो कहेगी कि हम कोर्ट के आदेश को नहीं मानते हैं?
And last year, the National Commission for Backward Castes has had highlighted that out of 179 OBC groups in Bengal's state list, 118 belong to the Muslim community. Hansraj Ahir, chairman of the NCBC, has alleged in the past that Bangladeshi immigrants and Rohingyas were included in Bengal's OBC list. He's spoken to Times Now on the Calcutta High Court order. Listen in.
2010 तक 11 के पहले बंगाल में 108 जातियां ओबीसी में आती थी, लेकिन 2011 के बाद वो जातियां बढ़कर 71 जातियां उसमें बढ़ गई है. उसमें से 65 जातियां माइनॉरिटी की अर्थात मुस्लिम भाइयों की थी और 6 जातियां हिंदुओं की थी. तो ये अंतर जो है वो अंतर में ही शंका आती है, आशंका आती है, डाउटफुल बन जाता है. हमने पूछा था कि ये 65 जातियां आपने जोड़ी है, एक 71, इसका रिपोर्ट कहाँ है, कौन से आधार पर जोड़ी है? आयोग के पास में अभी तक पश्चिम बंगाल सरकार के ओबीसी कमीशन ने हमें रिपोर्ट नहीं दी, चीफ सेक्रेटरी ने रिपोर्ट नहीं दी है.
Meanwhile, it wasn't just Mamata on Prime Minister's target. The Prime Minister also took a dig at Rahul Gandhi over his quote-unquote self-goal while talking about how the government systems have been anti-lower castes. Rahul said that he was born seeing the system from within and how it was run by former Prime Ministers like his grandmother, Indira Gandhi, his father, Rajiv Gandhi, and during Manmohan Singh's rule. Rahul admitted that the system has always been against lower castes. Reacting to this, the Prime Minister said that the Congress Shahzada has today accepted the truth.
जब से मैं पैदा हुआ हूं 1970 जून 19 तब से मैं सिस्टम के अंदर बैठा था। प्राइम मिनिस्टर हाउस में जब दादी प्राइम मिनिस्टर थी तब था, पापा थे, मनमोहन सिंह जी थे तब भी मैं जाता था, तो मुझे सिस्टम अंदर से मालूम है। और मैं आपको कह रहा हूं, सिस्टम इज अलाइंड अगेंस्ट लोअर कास्ट्स।
कई बार लाख झूठ बोलते हुए भी शहजादे की जुबान पर सच्चाई तो आ ही जाती है। आज कांग्रेस के शहजादे ने एक बड़ा सच स्वीकार कर लिया। शहजादे ने मान लिया है कि उनकी दादी, उनके पिताजी, उनकी माताजी के समय जो सिस्टम बना वो दलितों, पिछड़ों, आदिवासियों का घोर विरोधी रहा है।
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Let's take this across to our guest. Joining us live is Sanju Verma, National Spokesperson of BJP. Dr. Anand Ranganathan, author, is with us. Also with us on the broadcast is Esteemed, political analyst. But I want to go first and foremost to Professor Manojit Mandal, who's a political analyst. Professor Manojit Mandal, I'm just going to read out from some of the relevant portions of this particular order. And it says, the Commission and State acted in undue haste and with lightning speed in making recommendations for classification of 77 classes to make the public announcement of the then Chief Minister a reality. According to petitioners, the Commission appeared to be in a tearing hurry to fulfill wishes of the Chief Minister made in a political rally. No proper inquiry was conducted by the Commission inviting application for the inclusion in lists, and even after purported preparation of the list, no notification was issued inviting objections in general from people at large. Authorities have violated constitutional provisions and practiced protective discrimination in deviation of constitutional norms. It goes on and on and on. Certainly does not appear to be, in very good light that the government is shown here as far as this order is concerned. Professor Mandal, how would you respond?
There is a similar such order was passed by this court a month ago, cancelling 25,000 jobs. It's a bigger order than this one. That order is now stayed. I do believe that this particular order passed by these two particular judges, especially by one, Mr. Rajasekhar Mantha, it will go to the Supreme Court and it will be stayed. The fact remains that in the first cases, that particular case was...
Let's not question the judge. I'm very, very clear on this, Professor Mandal, on this show. It doesn't matter if it's you or BJP or Congress or any party. We are not questioning any judge. That is not our role as citizens. You can question the points of law that have been made. You can question the judgment. Question the judgment, not the judge. Please, let's not get into that debate at all. Please.
Oh, why do you... No, this is my responsibility.
So you may be wanting a legal notice. We certainly cannot risk that. Please respond now.
I am not.
Please respond.
I am not. No, hang on. I am not casting aspersion against the judge. He was one of the judges. That's what I'm saying. I can't state the fact that Mr. Rajasekhar Mantha was part of this bench. Can't I even say this? Don't I even that much of liberty? Under the Constitution, what the hell are you talking about? I'm just stating the fact that he's one of the judges.
Sir, please question the provisions. You are again going around in circles. Question the legal provisions if you want to. Question the facts that have been cited. You're not questioning that.
I'm very much questioning the legal provisions. Did this bench before passing this judgment again in undue haste, did they consider any kind of committee or commissions to look into the cases that whether what they are now stating was a fact? The state government in its affidavit made it amply clear that they made door-to-door services. They door-to-door, survey, and they saw the abject poverty of these communities, these classes that you are mentioning as 66 of them. And thereafter, the commission placed the report. I want to know very humbly and legally, did this court, did these two very, very honorable judges of Calcutta High Court form any committee before nullifying such an order? Did they take opinion of the commission, OBC commissions? which is the ultimate authority in granting OBC certificate, did they take the opinion of the Central OBC Commission?
Sanju Verma, the survey that was done door to door was not taken into consideration by the judges or the bench which in fact passed this order. That's the defense coming in from Professor Manojit Mandal. Please respond to that. Sanju Verma.
Madhav. Mr.
Mandal, you have spoken now one by one. Please, you have made your point. You have made a legal point. Now let the response come in from the BJP side. Please.
Thank you. And Madhav, I've had many feisty debates with you wherein you've asked me to, restrain myself. But I don't think I've ever told you live on air, Madhav, what the hell are you talking about? Which is exactly what Professor Mandal told you 2 minutes back. And I absolutely condemn this kind of language for a seasoned journalist. But let me come to the moot point. And the moot point is this. Prior to 2011, this is what Hansraj Ahir, the chairperson of the National Commission for Backward Classes, has stated in no uncertain terms. Prior to 2011, there were 108 communities classified as OBCs in West Bengal, out of which 55 belong to Hindus and 53 to Muslims, roughly 50-50. Now, as things stand, out of 179 OBC communities, 118 belong to Muslims, which means 66% of the OBC communities in West Bengal are Muslims. And the more important thing is that you have two categories in West Bengal, OBC category A and OBC category B. And what I found absolutely appalling, but not surprised in the least given Mamata's vote bank appeasement oriented politics, is that in the OBC A category, there are 90 communities, 90, out of which 81 are Muslims and only 9 are Hindus, which means 90% of the OBC A category has been completely, it is the Muslims which gain all the benefits under the OBC A category. And this is very, very relevant because if you are an OBC under category A, you get preference in admission to schools, colleges, government jobs, promotions, and access to a whole lot of other benefits which your Hindu or Buddhist or Jain or Christian brethren don't have access to. So A, Mamata Banerjee's vote bank appeasement oriented politics, catering only to Muslims, mullahs, maulanas, imams needs to be called out. B, for all those who come on national channels and say, oh, BJP की ये policy तो Article 14 right to equality के खिलाफ है, oh, BJP की ये policy तो Article 15 के खिलाफ है, right to equality is being smothered by the BJP dispensation. आज right to equality के सूरमा आप सब मुंह में ताला लगाकर क्यों बैठ गए हैं?
Okay.
And the last but not the least, the most important point is this: how did Mamata Banerjee, manage to get 90% of OBC A category benefits for Muslims alone?
Okay.
She basically circumvented the Supreme Court.
Let me come in because we have limited time. I want to quickly bring in Tehseen Poonawala on the direct attack of the Prime Minister on what Rahul Gandhi has said as well. The Prime Minister says, and I quote, कांग्रेस के शहजादे ने बड़ा सच स्वीकार लिया, जो सिस्टम बना वो घोर विरोधी रहा है पिछड़ों और आदिवासियों का. ये शहजादे ने मान लिया है ये घोर भ्रष्टाचारी है. And that's exactly what Rahul Gandhi talks about. He talks about the time when his grandmother, his father, when Dr. Manmohan Singh was a PM, he says, I know how the system works from inside. I can tell you the system is aligned against the lower caste. The Prime Minister says this is a direct admission. Tehseen.
So let the Honourable Prime Minister come on Times Now, speak to you, Madhav, and tell us. Simple questions. How many Supreme Court judges today are from the SC, ST, OBC community? Are they in proportion to their representation? How many Vice Chancellors of Central Universities or State Universities are from the Dalit, SC, ST, OBC communities? And they are professors, so why don't they get their constitutional rights? Let's ask ourselves in the state of Uttar Pradesh, and let your viewers Google it. How many police commissioners in Uttar Pradesh or SPs, district SPs, are from the Dalit, SC, ST, OBC category? Let's do it right now. How many DMs are? Let's do it right now. If they aren't, as per their proportion, but they are in service. Why do they not get a top post? Is merit denied? If there are equal Supreme Court judges, everybody is equal. Why does a Dalit not become a Chief Justice of the Supreme Court? How many in the Chief Justices in all the High Courts today in India are from the Dalit community or ST OBC community?
Let me factually correct you,
if
sir.
they are there, if they're capable enough to be
first
judges,
Dalit
which
Chief
is a
Justice
system
of India was
Nehruji
KG
said,
Balakrishnan, but we have limited time, so I want Dr. Ranganathan to come in, because Dr. Ranganathan, here you have a lot of rhetorical arguments coming in from Tehseen Poonawala. Do any of them hold up? Because I think if one can extrapolate his comments, he's even recommending reservations in the judiciary. Of course, that is a topic for another day, but quickly respond to him, please.
Good evening, Madhav. Before I come to the thrust of the debate, which is largely to do with the outrageous comments of Ms. Mamata Banerjee, I want to ask Tehseen whether Rahul Gandhi would say that there should be reservations in the judiciary, because there aren't. And the fact that when they rattle out numbers that there are so few Dalits in colleges and schools, is he for the same type of reservations for example, Aligarh Muslim University as well, on moral and ethical grounds? Forget about this being a minority institution. There's not even 1% reservations for Dalits and scheduled tribes in Aligarh Muslim University. If I'm not mistaken, through AMU's own charter, there is only one professor who is from SC/ST in the entire university, or maybe a little bit more than that. So practice what you preach. But I want to come to because I don't want people to escape this, what they have heard today. It is outrageous. And the fact of the matter is that hatred for Hindus has been perfected into an art form by Mamata Banerjee. And I'm measuring my words. It required the two strands: open discrimination against Hindus and open appeasement for Muslims, to be intertwined, Madhav. And Didi has achieved this to an extent that now it is impossible to disentangle the two. Let me explain. By claiming that some monks of the Ramakrishna Mission and ISKCON are BJP stooges, Didi has mainstreamed Hindu phobia. People aren't talking about it. And remember how Didi recently warned Hindus to not venture into quote-unquote Muslim areas? Or her silence at TMC Sheikh Alam boasting 4 Pakistans can be created if 30% Muslims come together?
Right.
Or her silence at Havda, violence in response to Nupur? Or giving ticket to Sayoni Ghosh of condom over shivling fame? Better it be changing Ram Dhenu to Wrong Dhenu, opposing CAA, calling Batla encounter fake, appointing Muslim on Tarkeshwar Temple Board, providing midday meal or dining hall to only those schools having 70% or more minority students, curtailing the time duration traditionally permitted for Durga idol immersion to make way for Muharram procession, granting 2.6 crores of taxpayers' money to Furfura Sharif, promising to give land to imams for construction of houses, paying more than 30,000 imams 2,500 per month, and over 15,000 muezzin 1,500, till this blatant communal move was struck down by the High Court. 8 years later, in the face of uproar, she sanctioned much lower stipend, much lesser number for Hindu priests. Muslims form 30%
Dr.
of
Ranganathan, I'm sorry I'm interrupting you, but we are completely out of time. And in fact, the most shocking part, perhaps many would say, is that you have a Chief Minister who's saying that the High Court judgment will not be followed. Of course, whether they will appeal it and go to a higher court, the Supreme Court that is of course something that remains to be seen. But we have to end this debate here. Sanju Verma, Dr. Ranganathan, Dr. Tehseen Poonawala, as well as Professor Manojit Mandal, thanks so much for joining us this evening.